presented data to show how actually compliant mums and families are in Ireland with very clear guidelines around nutrition. And when they receive clear and unambiguous guidelines around nutrition, mums are broadly compliant. And across two different areas, we looked at infant weaning and feeding, and we looked at vitamin D supplementation. We found that 80% of mums were compliant with the recommendations that they had received in these areas. I was interested to interact a little bit more maybe with Professor Turner, who never quotes any statistics without the numbers in his own unit to back them up. The importance of paternal health and nutrition as well, because the emphasis is always placed on mums, but the emphasis should be placed on the whole family and on dads as well.
As an obstetrician, I'm very concerned that maternal obesity has become one of the greatest challenges in contemporary obstetrics. 1 in 6 women booking for antenatal care in Ireland is now obese, and 1 in 50 are morbidly obese. The maternal obesity is associated with an increase in pregnancy complications. In particular, it's associated with an increase in gestational diabetes mellitus, in hypertensive disorders, and in venous thromboembolism, and particularly induction of labour and caesarean section. We know, for example, that mothers who are obese are twice as likely to need an emergency caesarean section for the delivery of their first baby.
We work with young mums indeed when they become pregnant, and we have direct experience about the value of a really good start in life. It's the time when kids are learning quickest, it's the time when they're developing most. If everything goes right, it's a wonderful time in a child's life, and it really sets them up. If things go wrong, it can do damage that will last for the rest of their lives. So the first 1,000 days, that 9 months of pregnancy, and that first 2 years of building a relationship that's based on good standards of nutrition and care, development, is absolutely fundamental.
Data from us from the Isle of Wight is showing that really by the time you're 4, you're set on your weight trajectory for life, and that really highlights the importance of the early nutrition setting you on your pathway for life in terms of coronary heart disease and allergic diseases.
Maternal obesity is important because it carries lifelong consequences for both the woman and her child. It's associated with an increase in healthcare costs, particularly an increase in the drug budget and an increase in the average length of stay related to caesarean section.
There's a lot of imprinting takes place very early on, and a child's dietary patterns are set in really in those first 1,000 days. In those first 2 years after birth, their likes and their dislikes for food are very much set in place. So if they're on the right type of nutrition early on, it's much better for them, rather than get involved in foods that have high fat content, high sugar contents, and foods that are obesity inducing. And the most chilling statement made this morning is that for the first time in human history, it's likely that the next generation of children will not live as long as their parents, which is a very worrying factor.
I'm delighted that they're doing this 1,000-day symposium. I think it's really important, and I particularly like the way Danone support and encourage mothers to breastfeed. I think breastfeeding, it's the magic potion for health and for the future lives of children going right through to adulthood.
We know that kids who aren't well nourished have difficulty developing, have difficulty getting the most from their education. And so we try to ensure that all of our kids are as well nourished as they can be all the time. The more we can learn, the better. And I'm delighted to be in a position to do that.
Great turnout today with lots of different disciplines here, dietitians, paediatricians, neonatologists. So really a great platform to discuss, I suppose, the really crucial effects that nutrition have in the first 1,000 days of life. There was a lot of discussion about really trying to ensure that breastfeeding is seen as the normal way to feed, and I think there's a lot we can do in terms of really trying to educate mums and be very overt with our breastfeeding messages. Really what came really forcefully through to me was the importance of consistency and of simplicity of message, which we've already spoken about within the first 1,000 days campaign. But yes, there was certainly a lot of consistency in terms of the importance of breastfeeding, the importance of appropriate weaning, etc. So great discussion after the keynote speakers today.